The orbital station Threshold 7 hummed with the mechanical symphony of 1,000 alien species conducting trade, diplomacy, and survival at the edge of known space. In Bay 14, beneath flickering bioluminescent panels, Chief Mechanic Vorath examined the damaged cargo hauler with his 4 crystalline eyes, mandibles clicking in disapproval. "Cannot be fixed," he announced, his translator chip rendering his words into flat, emotionless standard. "Hull integrity compromised. Reactor leak. You need new ship." Captain Elena Reyes stood before him, arms crossed, her military-grade exosuit gleaming under the bay lights. The powered armor made her appear 7 feet tall, a titan of polished composite plating and hydraulic muscle. Most species gave humans in exosuits a wide berth. They'd earned that reputation during the border wars. "I don't need a new ship," Elena said firmly. "I need this one fixed. I've got a contract deadline in 48 hours. Vorath's translator emitted what might have been a laugh. "Impossible. Even with full crew, 70 hours minimum. You are one human alone." Elena tilted her helmet, considering. The Vorath were master engineers, their 6-limbed bodies perfectly adapted for complex repairs. They were also notoriously honest about their limitations. If he said 70 hours, he meant it. "What if I help?" she asked. "You?" Vorath's eyes refracted light in what his species used for skepticism. "Humans are strong in armor, yes. Good soldiers. But delicate work? No, your suits are too large, too clumsy. You would break more than you fix." Elena was quiet for a moment. Around them, the bay continued its chaotic ballet, loading drones, other mechanics shouting in a dozen languages, the hiss of welding torches against metal. She'd been in her exosuit for 16 hours straight. Standard protocol when docking at mixed-species stations: never show vulnerability, never appear weak. But she needed this ship fixed. "Wait," she said, reaching for her helmet seals. "I'll take off my exosuit." Vorath froze. His translator went silent. All 6 of his limbs locked in place and his crystalline eyes fixed on her with an intensity that made Elena pause, her fingers on the release mechanism. "You would remove your armor?" he asked slowly. "Here? Now?"
"Yeah," Elena said, confused by his reaction.
"Why not? Vorath's mandibles worked soundlessly. "I have worked this station for 23 cycles. I have never seen a human without their armor. Not once." Elena felt a chill of understanding. She'd spent so long in the suit, living up to humanity's reputation, that she'd forgotten what that reputation cost. Humans were newcomers to the galactic community, feared for their military prowess, respected for their resilience in hostile environments, but never truly known. "Watch and learn," she said. The seals hissed. Hydraulics sighed. The chest plate separated and Elena stepped backward out of the suit's embrace. It stood empty behind her, a hollow monument to human engineering. And there she stood, 5'6", 130 pounds, wearing a sweat-stained undershirt and cargo pants. Vorath stared and stared. This is what you are," he whispered. "Inside the armor?" "This is what we are," Elena confirmed. She stretched, her spine cracking, and rolled her shoulders. God, it felt good to breathe recycled station air without a helmet. The suits aren't us. They're just tools. "But you are," Vorath searched for words, "small, soft, fragile. Compared to most species, yeah." Elena walked to the cargo hauler, running her hand along the damaged hull. "We evolved on a death world, remember? Heavy gravity, aggressive predators, extreme weather. We're actually pretty durable by our planet's standards. We just look small next to everyone else out here." She turned back to him, and for the first time she saw something new in his crystalline eyes. Not fear, not respect. Something closer to wonder. "The suits," Vorath said slowly. "They are not who you are. They are what you built because you are small." "Exactly," Elena said. "We're tool makers, Vorath. Problem solvers. We couldn't grow 6 arms, so we built hydraulics. We couldn't survive hard vacuum, so we built shields and armor. That's what humans do. We adapt." She grabbed a hydrospanner from his tool rack, testing its weight. "So here's my offer. You teach me your repair protocols. Show me what needs to be done. My hands are smaller than yours. I can reach places you can't. I'm lighter. I can work on the superstructure without additional support. And I'm motivated because I'll lose everything if I miss my deadline." Vorath's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sign of intense thought in his species. "You would trust me? I could be wrong." You could be injured without your armor to protect you. Risk is part of the job, Elena said. She extended her hand, small, soft, fragile, toward him. What do you say? Partners? For a long moment, Vorath simply looked at her hand. Then carefully, with a delicacy she'd never seen from his species before, he extended one of his manipulator limbs and gently clasped her fingers. Partners, he agreed. They worked through the night. Vorath guided, explained, demonstrated. Elena crawled through access tunnels, spliced power conduits, welded seams. Her hands cramped. Her muscles ached. She collected burns and bruises, and none of it required armor. Other mechanics began to gather, watching the impossible sight of a human working without an exosuit. First curious, then fascinated, then finally helpful, a cachery engineer offered her thermal gloves. A dreen mechanic brought specialized tools that fit her smaller grip. Word spread through the station. 37 hours after she'd removed her armor, Elena and Vorath sealed the final hull plate. The reactor hummed to life, clean and strong. The cargo hauler was whole again. Elena sat on the deck, exhausted, her clothes ruined, her hands bandaged. Vorath lowered himself beside her, his carapace clicking against metal. I have learned something, he said quietly. Humans are not their armor. The armor is not what makes you strong. No, Elena agreed. We're strong because we're willing to take off the armor when we need to. Because we know that tools are meant to serve us, not define us. She looked at him. And we're strong because we can learn when to ask for help. Vorath's eyes refracted the light into rainbow patterns. Your species will go far, he said. Not because you are mighty warriors, but because you are small enough to fit where others cannot, soft enough to bend instead of break, and wise enough to know when to set down your weapons and build something instead. Elena smiled. That's the most human thing I've heard all year. Her exosuit still stood in the corner of the bay, waiting for her to return to it. And she would. The galaxy was still dangerous and armor had its place. But not here, not now. For the first time in her career, Elena Reyes sat among her fellow mechanics without barriers between them, and she understood something profound. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't in how tall they could build their armor. It was in knowing when to take it off.